right, let's look at our next example. We've got 2x squared minus 12 equals negative 2x. This one is not in standard form, so let's go ahead and force it. We're going to be adding 2x to both sides, make it equal to 0. And we're going to write down 2x squared plus 2x minus 12. Be very careful when you're adding an x that you make sure that you put it in the middle so it stays in standard form. Now if we look at these three terms, again they have a greatest common factor of 2. So let's go ahead and divide each one by 2. Now we can put it on the outside since we did factor it, but it's not going to change our answer because we're looking at the solutions. It doesn't affect the solution. All right, so from here, we're going to go A, B, and C. Our A is 1, our B is 1, and our C is negative 6. So we want to look for our discriminant. So B squared minus 4 times A times C. We've got 1, 1, and negative 6. So this is 1. This is negative 4 times 1 times negative 6 is positive 24. That gives us 25. And because it's positive, we've got 2 real solutions. So let's bring in our quadratic formula. So negative b plus or minus square root of, there's 25. We already did it down here. Divided by 2 times our a. So this is 1 and this is 1. So we've got negative 1 plus or minus square root of 25 is equal to 5 because it's a perfect square, and 2 times 1 is 2. Now notice how this one is going to have one solution when we're adding the 5 and then dividing by 2, and the other solution is when we are subtracting 5 and dividing by 2. So in this case, we have 4 divided by 2, which is 2, and here we have negative 6 divided by 2, which is negative 3. So our two solutions are negative 3, comma 2. And if we were to graph this, that would mean we would have a solution at negative 3 and one at positive 2. All right, so from here, we do not have a greatest common factor. So let's go ahead and find our A, our B, and our C. So my A is 3, B is negative 8, and C is positive 10. So let's find our discriminant. And this is B squared minus 4 times A times our A, our B, and our, here we have negative 8 squared is 64. 4 times 3 times 10, that gives us 120. And 120 minus, or 64 minus 120 is negative 56. Because my number is less than 1 or negative, that means we have two imaginary solutions. So let's go ahead and solve for them. Let's bring in our quadratic formula. And it's minus b plus or minus the square root. That's where we bring in our discriminant, which is negative 56, divided by 2 times our a. Well, my b goes here, and my a goes. This is negative 8, and this is positive 3. Minus a negative 8, that gives us a positive 8, plus or minus the square root of negative 56. Now this one we are going to have to simplify. So this negative automatically becomes our I. And if we do the square root of 56, we know we've got the square root of 4 times the square root of 14. This becomes 2, so we've got 2i square root of 14. So over here, we're going to put 2i square root of 14. All divided by 2 times 3, which is 6. Now, if we look at our solution, if we look at my real number, the number outside of the radical, and the denominator, we can simplify this. They're all divisible by 2. So if we divide this by 2, we get 4. This is 1, and this is 3. So we would rewrite it as 4 plus and minus I square root of 14 over 3. And those are my two solutions. All right, go ahead and begin your assignment, and I will be back tomorrow to answer any questions. Have fun.